El baile de la cachimba se ha formado la corredera. En el baile de la cachimba se ha formado la corredera.
Thank you.
Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas y sus sirenas. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas y sus sirenas. Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó?
Hello viewers, well it's your half-assed reporter again. I got my mask on. Special shout out to our friends in Cuernavaca, Mexico. We're gonna run in here to the Mitchell Algus Gallery and we have got a historical treat for you. Stay tuned. Yes, well, it's a Thursday night in the middle of September, and I initially came in and saw this show about a month ago, and I actually called Mitchell to see when he was going to be at the gallery again, because it's been closed for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Well, for those of you who are art history aficionados, this is a show by George Ortman. And, well, they've titled it Against Abstraction, which I guess is kind of ironic. I was just saying that. Well, we'll start out here. This is number 1 on the list. Study after Bosch and Picasso, 2014, pencil on paper, 27 by 20. Okay, so there's our little Picasso. I don't know where the Bosch part is. Maybe that's it. Well, the gallerist just made a reference to Don Judd, and the reason that that's important, significant, is they've got a huge Judd retrospective up at the Museum of Modern Art, and Don Judd was influenced a lot by George Ortman. And matter of fact, in his, I think his essay that he wrote in 1963 or 64 titled Specific Objects, he refers to George Ortman as one of the people that was working in a new way that was somewhere between painting and sculpture. And, well, Judd took off with that. I've never seen George's drawings before. Okay, I think this is based on a Gauguin. And, well, I was doing some research on George, and I saw some other pieces he was doing kind of extrapolations from Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. And though he was known as a geometric abstractionist, he's quite an accomplished draftsman. We're going to go over to this side, and this is one of the series of late works. I think Mitchell was saying these are from 2013, and I think he passed away in 2015. And again, I think some of this might be based on Bosch, or at least maybe the little strange, surreal plants that were growing in the back of some of the Bosch pieces. titled Piece 2.
These have texture,
Yes.
and they have different shapes. And it's repeated, and this painting here is more than certainly the way.
Okay. Well, I think I posted something when I came in and saw this show initially that, it's always great to get a chance to see things that you have heard about or things that have achieved a certain almost legendary status and almost mythical status. And from looking at art history books and things like that. And then when you see the actual things, it's like finding your great-grandmother's corsage that's been pressed into a book somewhere, pulling it out and looking at it, seeing how fragile it is. Here, let's take a look at this one.
They seem to light up. But I don't know how you achieve that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the piece that was actually in the Don Judd article. It's titled Stages of Life, 1959, oil on canvas. Well, I have a friend that writes a little art blog, and he was actually looking at the back of some of these, and well, if you think the fronts are complex, some of the way he constructed these on the back are just as complex. Okay, this is a major piece.
It has a lot of texture if you look at
This
it
is
close.
Tales of Love, 1959.
If you look at it, he's cut up canvas and put it on.
Right, he's collaged that on. You were talking about how this was influenced Don Judd, but I think probably also you could put people like Jasper Johns in there as someone that was very much looking at this kind of work and thinking about his treatment of the surface and color, the collage elements.
When I did my first show with George,
Yes,
sitting there on a Saturday, and Jasper Johns walks in.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Probably knew each other from the old days, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great to see. So Jasper Johns doesn't get into town that often, but if he made a point of coming in to see George's show, I think he must have decided he had to stay up to date on the latest developments. Again, we've got some very simple geometric things. We've got this canvas divided into 16 squares, could be, and then they've got the large thing, the circles, the triangles. More drawings. Now, George, I believe, was a native New Yorker. I'm not sure. Maybe he was from somewhere else, but he came and spent a lot of time in New York, and he worked with William Stanley Hayter, who was a very famous and very influential printmaker. It's titled Hermorphidite. I think Hayter had actually worked with people like Jackson Pollock, some of the other abstract expressionists. I think he was British.
I think George was born in California.
He was born in California.
So my husband says.
Okay. And I think he also studied, maybe he was in the army, but he ended up studying in Paris for a while. I believe.
Part in Stanley William Hayter's.
Right, and here are some of the etchings.
The prints that he did in Paris.
Right. Oh, he was working with his print shop in Paris. Okay. We'll get back to this one. I actually was pretty surprised by this, and I like this. This might be one of my favorite pieces in the show. Sketch for Landmark, 2016, oil on canvas, 35 by 45 inches.
Yeah, he was born in Oakland.
Oh, he's born in Oakland. He's a California boy. Well, I do a lot of kind of diagrammatic work myself. And, well, this is kind of fascinating. I was talking about how he would take a work by an old master, Leonardo or Michelangelo or somebody, and then boil it down. Here he kind of is doing a similar kind of thing, but it's basically just dealing with these geometric forms. Gosh, I don't know. I guess you could probably spend some time and maybe figure out some kind of mathematical something that he's doing with the numbers and letters and his lines. And, well, this also kind of makes me think of Alfred Jensen a little bit. This is 1962. Well, there's a lot going on in the art scene in New York in those days. This is one of his variations on Matisse and the piano lesson. Okay. This is Study After Bosch, Gaudi and Miro, 2013, pencil and paper, 32 by 30 inches. And yeah, his cross hatching is pretty nice. A lot of time spent in there building up those areas of gray. I think we'll wrap up looking at this one. Okay. I think this is Almond, 1961, oil, canvas collage on wood, pencil on paper. The dimensions are wrong. So this is probably something like 24 by 60. Well, I think one of the reasons that George is not better known is that at some point, I believe maybe in the late 60s, he started teaching at some school out near Chicago, I believe. And gosh, when you're in an art world, it's kind of using Andy Warhol as an example of what you have to do to be in the art scene. Boy, if you're not out going to the clubs and spending a lot of time hanging around and schmoozing with the intelligentsia, then you are forgotten in a flash. I think also George was just such a damn serious artist that he didn't have time for that stuff, and he, probably was good for him in the work that he didn't get caught up in the scene. So this is James Kalm reporting on George Ortman against Abstraction here at the Mitchell Algus Gallery, 132 Delancey Street. You can like this, share, link it up to all your social media sites, and you can leave your thoughts, ideas, comments, criticisms, and reviews below. And we just ask you to say, thank you, Kate.